everyone, it's Irene and I'm here to share with you today a project I made out of scrap fabric from my quilting days. I'm going through a particular room, cleaning it out and destashing, and found a lot of fabric I didn't want to quite get rid of, so I made these really pretty scrappy flowers. And I even made the flower centers that you see here, which are the stamens. And the paper flower came from Michael's Dollar area, which is $1.50 now, and then punched out with music note with this punch, the middle there, and used several different punches like this one right here on others, and I'll show that to you right now. Leave them plain for now because I'm looking for different kind of centers, but here's a little platter filled with them. And I also have these right here. Just made a couple of them just to show you real quick how pretty they come out. Very thick, very dimensional, so pretty on a card. Let me see this right here. This flower came from the Michael's $1.50 spot. I punched out that little music note paper, and the rest was done with just scraps of fabric. So, and here's a whole bag ready to go to decorate. And I did this with quite a few different kind of pieces of paper. Here's, I made a junk journal for my daughter, Cinderella, and I had some leftover fabric from that, and I made some of these really pretty flowers. And the stamens I made myself. The blue flower came from Michael's. Add a little tulle there. Really pretty. Isn't that fun? So let me show you how I made the flower, and then I'll show you how I made the stamen. Hopefully I can go fast enough to show you both, because I don't care to do a two-part video. Alright, so let's just start with the flower. Here's a fat quarter that's in my stash. The quilt I made didn't need this piece, so I'm done with that. And the easiest way to do it is, this is the salvage where all the print is. So there it is. I just cut with my snips, really, just a little slit here. I'll make a couple so I can show you. About a ½ inch wide, and I just pre-cut it just to get me started. And the best way to do it, to give it that rough edge, is this. You just take it and tear. You see that? Just tear it down, no worries. Go to the next one, and I just sit there and tear it all up. See? Just like that. Easy peasy, right? So then I get all of this, and I love the rough edges. The raw edges like that, I just love. I take out all these extra strings, no problem. And then I cut off my salvage because I don't want that print to end up in my flower. Then I have this long strip right here, and I basically just spread it on my fingers like this, loop it around, and I get the end there. I make that my middle. I snip here, bend it, and snip there, and there are my petals. And all I do, honestly, is I'll do it here up in the air, but I just put it on my little melting mat. Let me just see what I'll show it is right here. I just made one of these. I just put it on here. Let me see if that will show on camera. It does. And I just take my glue gun, and after each petal, I just put it down and glue down, and I make a plus, if you can see that. And I make my glue, and I just start to make it 11 o'clock and fill in the spaces. This is 1 o'clock, and then I do one straight across just to finish it off. And there is the makings of my flower. Isn't that cute? And then if it's too long, I can trim it up to not long enough. It's perfect. If you want it longer, you can make your strips longer, but I think that's a pretty flower right there, right? Okay, so then I would put in a piece of paper, a little flower center from something else. On and on I would go. Let me just show you how cute these look on a card. If you need a quick card in a pinch, you just take one of these flowers. I have quite a few of these cards. I just put a leftover doily from my junk journals and put the flower in, and it can make a really pretty card if that's so you choose. This is a little bit too busy for me. I probably would use a striped or a solid color, but isn't that just a pretty element all on its own? And I've been making these into embellishments, paper clips. You can use them so many ways, but isn't that just pretty? So let me show you how I make those stamens, which is quite easy, and it's something that you probably have in your house that would make it all work together. So what I do is I either get, let's see, I'll show you. I have a big box here. Let's see right here. I either use hemp or this wax string. Either or would use. See, here's my center just to show you my stamen. See, I make them really pretty. And I've made quite a bit here. Here's my pink. Here's my yellow. I made some more fuzzy glittery pink. There's some white. And here's some orange. All these were made by me using this 32 gauge wire, which is the tiniest wire, and I get this from Hobby Lobby when it goes on sale. It's normally $3.99, but like I said, when it goes on sale, I get it half off. Love the 32 gauge. I cut it with my wire snips because it is wire, so don't use your best paper scissors or your fabric. And I cut it in the length that I like, which is usually 2 to 3 inches long. I cut them all up, get them all ready, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a little mixture, and I do mean little. What you do is, I use one of these things right here. See, it has a little pink glitter in there. And what I do is, I take my cornstarch, and I use about, I don't know, about a spoonful. So where's my spoon? Here it is. Still has cornstarch on it. So I just take some cornstarch, and I put it in one of those containers. Oop, a little bit too much. Yes, you don't want too much. Now, you could put a little paint in there. That'd be alright, but just remember that counts as your liquid in the cornstarch, because what happens to cornstarch when you're cooking with it? It thickens and makes a beautiful sauce, doesn't it? Well, same goes here. We're just making a crafty sauce. So here's my cornstarch, okay? And right now what I would do is I want to use, my liquid is going to be white glue. So I put about a tablespoon of glue in there. That looks about right. And like I said, you can use paint in here for color, but what I like to do is I used, don't have it here nearby, but I used chalk. If you use the artist chalk and you just shave it in there, that's awesome. And then you take that chalk or that paint with the glue and the cornstarch, and you give it a good stir. And so you stir till it all gets mixed up really, really well. Making a really fun mess here. Can't blame my mom on it anymore, now can I? Sorry, Mom. Let's see. She would just be cracking up right about now if she saw me put cornstarch and glue together, if she even knew what those mixture ingredients were. But I can just imagine at this point what I would be hearing from her by now. But anyway, it makes this really good mixture. Now see, it's not quite mixed well, so I will just continue adding glue, because you want the consistency of pancake batter. If it's nice and liquidy but not too watery, it really comes out super great. So all I need in here was some color, and like I said, I love shaving in some chalk in there, because chalk has a really good colored pigment, and it would really make this really pretty. So just whip it up, whip it up. Okay, I would say I'd call this good for now, for video's sake. Get that all done like that. Let me just get my little wipe here, clean off my table. I'm usually quite a messy crafter, but for video's sake, it's going to be nice and neat. And what I would do next is I would already have all my wires prepped, but since I don't, I'll just do it right now. Let me get one of these wires. I also let them dry on a piece of styrofoam. Let me just show you real quick. Alright, there we go. One piece like this, and it measures about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 inches for now, because I'm thinking if I bend it and put it in a flower, I have a lot of give there to shorten it, or however it's going to be needed. So I would take this, I would dip it in my colored cornstarch mixture, and what I do is I twirl, 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 and when it comes out like this, I just give it a little clean off the edge, and there it is. and I would let these dry like this on a piece of styrofoam. I don't have it here, but it's the width of this block and would dry like that. And I usually put it on a piece of parchment paper just in case I have drippings, but because the glue is inside that cornstarch, this will dry quite quickly, and it's just fantastic. And I do both sides before I hang to dry. So like I said, here it is right here. I just clean off a little bit, and there are my stamens. And if it was already dry, see how awesome that looks? I hope you guys can see that. Let me see if I can get a black piece of paper here. Red one. You see that? Nice and thick, not too much. And I would hang it to dry. It dries quite well within an hour, I would say, but I usually make mine at night to get a full 8 to 10 hour dry time. And I am ready to use this now on my flowers. And so that is how I came up with these stamens. Aren't they fantastic? I love them so much to make. So it coordinates with my flower. So you know how at the store we can find stamens that are pearlized. You can obviously paint those, but why not make your own when you can control the color, the size, and you can add glitter, you can add whatever you wish. And like I said, you can add a little paint, and that will count as your liquid in the mixture. So if you're going to use paint, use more glue than paint. But I think that chalk is better, and this was made with chalk. Isn't that pretty? So I hope you guys go out and try your hand at some scrappy flowers. Use your cornstarch, a little glue, and make some beautiful stamens for your flowers of any kind of flavor that you need. I can't wait to make some purple ones next, some blue ones, even some black ones for Halloween to go with my orange flowers. So I hope you guys liked this little tutorial and tip, and try your hand at making some really pretty flowers. They're a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for watching. I know there's quite a few beautiful choices out there for channels. I'm so glad you made me a choice of yours for tonight. And thank you to all my new subscribers and my loyal followers. Your viewership counts a lot, and it really does make a difference in my life. So thank you so much. Hugs to you all, and stay tuned for another video. Take good care. Bye-bye.